You are so cute. Happy Lunar New Year's, guys! Now, if you have checked out Instagram, you have seen these really cute piggy bows before, and the filling that I used is actually dehydrated bok choy and also a mushroom jerky. So the texture is completely meaty, but also like completely different. And of course, we decorated this guy in the year of the pig, so I can't wait to show you guys the recipe. So, if you guys haven't seen this product before, it is an introduction for y'all. This is dehydrated bok choy, and they sell it pretty readily in Asian grocery stores. And all you do is you rehydrate it and you soak it overnight. And the texture that you get from this is something, it's a vegetable with a lot more bite to it. So it really adds to the filling. So many moons ago, I had a viewer requesting that I do a mushroom jerky, and it's probably been a year or two now, and I think I finally have a really good recipe for it. So let's just say this one's coming up, but it's dehydrated mushrooms, okay? And you can get this also at the Asian grocery store. And when it comes to like meatiness, when it comes to pulled pork, this guy beats jackfruit any day. You can see that it rips just like jerky. So for me, I find that obviously the texture is a little bit dry, so I'm going to put a little bit of water to that and then just soak both of these guys overnight. So I have the usual suspects in terms of the marinating ingredients. So it's a little bit of vegan oyster sauce. I have some soy sauce, some garlic powder, some cornstarch to soak up all of that liquid. I'm also putting in a little bit of a vegan chicken powder. You can use bouillon as well, and just a little bit of sugar. Just mix that all in. Recipe is going to be down below. And I didn't say this, but I actually put the bok choy into the food processor. You can cut it, but sometimes it can be quite fibrous. So I just got it into nice small pieces, and then now I am shredding the mushroom jerky very much like pulled pork. So we're making the dough by hand again because I think that's what people want to see. So 2 cups of white flour. I have some instant yeast, some baking powder, some salt, and then some sugar as well. And it's probably better to mix it up into a bowl before you pour it out and make this well. Another kind of good thing about doing things by hand is that you learn the texture of what a bao dough should be, because afterwards you can feel free to use the mixer, because honestly it probably needs the dough better than you can. So I am pouring in a little over a half a cup of cool water because I do not want to activate the yeast yet. I mean, it eventually will anyways, but I don't want to kind of warm it up too soon. And a lot of you guys have asked me about why your baos are kind of, a little bit yellow, a little bit off-white. And the reason mainly is because you're not using bleached white flour. And I happen to find that at the Asian grocery store, so that is what we're going to be using today. And you can see that by using kind of the well method, I am just taking in a little bit of flour from the sides and incorporating that in. And with bao dough, I would say it tends to kind of lean a little bit towards the drier side. It's not a very wet, it's not a very soft dough. So once you get it to kind of this flaky stage, just add a teeny bit of water at a time and then bring the dough together and, knead it for 6 to 7 minutes. You have to work the gluten. It is a bao dough, it is a bread dough. So you got to work the gluten until it gets to, a fairly round and smooth ball of dough. So I know what you guys are saying. Whew, you need a break from all of that kneading. Thank goodness that we are going to leave this to ferment for a couple of hours. No, we're not. We're actually going to leave that last kind of proofing time till the end of the baos once they are shaped and once they are formed. So what I'm going to do is roll this into a long log right now, and I'm going to divide it into 8 equal pieces. And I'm gonna take one piece and just dye it with red food coloring so that it turns slightly pink. So what I'm doing right now is to form each piece of dough into a circle, and I'm just kneading it so that the bottom is nice and smooth because the bottom is going to be the face of our piggy. So you want to make sure that everything is kind of nice and shaped that way before you start rolling it out. So I fill this guy up pretty good. You want to roll this into about a 6-inch in diameter circle. Again, focusing on the edges being thinner than the center because that makes it easier to pleat, and the thicker center is better for the filling in case if it has any additional moisture. So I'm using a blue scoop right now. This may be a little bit too big. If you want a smoother kind of face for your pig, I say don't overfill it like I did, but I actually had a lot of filling. So you can see now that I'm just pleating the bottom, but you don't have to. You just need to seal the bottom. But pleating it is sort of the easiest way of kind of getting it into that circular shape. And because this dough is a wheat dough, it stretches very well. So you see how much filling I put into that. I essentially just keep on using my other thumb and pushing that filling down, and it just stretches out the dough so that there is going to be enough dough. And I pinch off a little bit off of the bottom so that it is not too thick, and then I kind of very gently shape it into a ball. So for the nose and the ear, it's a little bit trial and error. I basically rolled everything up into a really long log, and for the snout, I wanted it to be thicker, and I ended up using skewers, the back of a wooden skewer to poke the little nose holes in. But yeah, you essentially want it to be kind of like a longer, thicker oval, and then 2 holes for that. And then for the ears, it was kind of a play-by-play. I had to do kind of like tic-tac shape for the ears as well. And then later on, I kind of like pressed an indent into the center of the ear to make it look more like a piggy ear. And then for the eyes, I ended up using black sesame seeds. So you just try it until the face kind of looks cute. So that was just a spray bottle with water, and it really helps everything stick. A tip for me, I guess, is to put the snout a little bit below the center. The eyes kind of look cuter when the sesame is at a diagonal, and then the ears just kind of try to put some folds into it so that it kind of looks like a piggy ear, and yeah, you should be fine. So I think I wanted my face to be a little bit chubbier, so I squished them in. But at this time, put a cover on it, stick it into a warm place for right around 20 minutes so that it can rise just a little bit before you put it into a steamer. Now, don't have the steamer be too hot, medium heat, because otherwise the dough is going to rise too much and then it's going to deflate as soon as you open it. So after kind of the 20 to 30 minutes fermentation, steam it for right around 10 minutes. And then really important, after you turn off the heat, just keep the cover on for a couple of minutes afterwards. It helps to keep the face from kind of deflating immediately. So these are they, and honestly, I had a huge issue with even like wanting to open up the bao for you guys because they are so ridiculously cute. That is crazy, lovely, super soft bun, and the inside with the dehydrated bok choy and also using that mushroom jerky instead gives vegetarian fillings kind of a new possibility. It is very meaty in texture, and there's just really a nice bite to all of the dehydrated fillings. Anyways, I hope you all have enjoyed that recipe, and if you are celebrating the Lunar New Year, Happy New Year. I wish you guys all of the good stuff, like happiness and healthiness and good fortune and all that jazz. As usual, if you want to see more recipes like this, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will be seeing you guys again real soon. Bye!